Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to RMU Live. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2021. I'm Austin Bechtold.
And I'm Colby Sherwin. Here's what's happening now. RMU is looking to have a normal fall in 2021. In an email from the university, it says, quote, "Therefore, we are pleased to announce that assuming continued progress in controlling the virus, we plan on returning a normal person instruction and activities for fall 2021, including athletics with fans in attendance and other major campus events." End quote. The university will continue to monitor the numbers and how the students' numbers will be going as well.
Very exciting to be looking forward to, Colby. There are currently 10 students and 1 employee of Robert Morris University in quarantine and 4 students in isolation. People in isolation have tested positive for COVID-19, and those in quarantine have been tested but have not yet received their test results or have been exposed to someone with the virus.
Yesterday, there were about 2,000 COVID-19 cases. This makes the number of positive cases to be around 100,000 cases statewide. Also, there were no new deaths by COVID-19, which is a positive sign. This leaves the total number of deaths to be 25,000 deaths. UPMC is looking for an assist from a local sports team here in Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Penguins and UPMC are teaming up to give the Moderna vaccine this week at PPG Paints Arena. Both hope to give 80,000 shots this week. This morning, they hope to give 1,000 people shots. Mark Savico, the president of UPMC Hospital, said, quote, "Right now we are 350,000 people on our portal and we have 55,000 right now scheduled. We're working through it as fast as the supply of vaccines come in," end quote.
Many of those who have already been vaccinated for COVID-19 are wondering what to do with the vaccination record card that is handed out to them with their name and date of the vaccine. A local family physician is telling people not to lose it or throw it away. Dr. Danielle Godinez says the card offers a symbol of hope, but also proof for travel or any other necessary items in the future. She's also reminding people not to post a picture of your card on social media and display the information about your vaccine. After the beginning of coronavirus shutdowns began to halt St. Patrick's Day festivities in 2020, the 2021 installment of the annual celebration was calm and relatively quiet in the city of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Public Safety reported no major incidents from celebrations on Saturday by police, firefighters, EMS, or other branches of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Public Safety also released a statement thanking residents, business owners, and visitors for celebrating responsibly during the pandemic.
With the warm weather beginning to improve and spring in the air, people are beginning to get excited to be outside and celebrating hot weather. Robert Morris University officials remind students not to violate COVID-19 safety protocols in this exciting part, particularly on a certain upcoming holiday.
St. Patrick's Day, a holiday known for parties, is just a few days away. While the release of 3 COVID-19 vaccines and warm weather may feel like a reason to celebrate, Robert Morris University officials are reminding students to continue to follow COVID-19 protocols.
We are so close to being on the other side of this pandemic. The vaccination rates are up, cases across the country are declining. But there's still a need to be vigilant.
Vice President of Public Relations and Marketing Jonathan Potts mentioned that in the weeks following Halloween, another party holiday, the university saw positive COVID-19 numbers begin to rise.
Just to put in perspective, there were some large social gatherings, parties around Halloween. In the 2 weeks from November 1st to November 15th, we had 286 new student reports of COVID-19.
Since August 21st, RMU has seen a total of 374 COVID-19 cases, with the numbers from Halloween making up roughly 2/3 of that amount. Potts says the university will do what they can to enforce the rules, but the ultimate responsibility comes on students.
We certainly, will do everything we can to be vigilant and enforce the rules, but we have to rely on students to do the right thing. And that includes when they're off campus.
Potts encourages students who choose to celebrate to do so wisely and emphasizes that the student body has done well at tackling this challenge so far.
That includes, students who are of age. We want to make sure that they go to establishments that are following all the rules, right? We don't want anybody in crowds. We want people to be conscientious in their own social gathering. So, we can't be with students, 24/7, and you wouldn't want us to be. We need students to, and faculty and staff, we ask them to do the same thing. I know it's more challenging for students, and I understand that we've asked students to do something that none of us ever had to do when we were in college. And so I never want to underestimate how difficult it is. And you've done great so far. And we just want to keep going. We're so close.
St. Patrick's Day is on Wednesday, so be sure to wear green, but also wear a mask. For RMU-TV, I'm John Blinn.
Thank you, John. The end is certainly near. The Center for Global Engagement here at Robert Morris is teaming up with the Rabat School of Business at the Université Internationale de Rabat Morocco, as well as the School of Business here at Robert Morris. RBS students will enroll at RMU as exchange students for 1 to 2 semesters, and Robert Morris students can spend the same time at RBS taking courses in English on such courses such as HR management, business management, and international business negotiation. For more information, make sure to email cge@schrader@rmu.edu.
The Center for Global Engagement will offer its 4th Rooney panel reunion, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on healthcare perspective from South Africa, New Zealand, and the U.S. Join former Rooney scholars Dr. Moani Gasho and Dr. Moluko Ramashala Ganthro from South Africa, Dr. Patricia Andrushi from New Zealand, and RMU's Dr. Holly Hamfier, Healthcare Service Administration from 1 to 2 p.m. Wednesday, March 17th, RSVP for this virtual event. The Centro 33 Foundation and Unpacked U have awarded funding to RMU Students Project as part of the U Prize incentive, which sought students-led ideas to improve mental health within the Pittsburgh area higher education community. The winners are Melanie Hall, Jax Kelly, and Megan O'Donnell.
RMU's Chief Human Resources Officer, Lisa Hernandez, has been chosen to be a part of the 2021 Man and Woman of the Year campaign. The campaign strives to raise money and help others learn more about the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. As the RMU 2020 football season resumes this spring, RMU President Dr. Christopher Howard is continuing his efforts in expanding the impact of football on college campuses. On Thursday, Howard was awarded a position on the board of directors of the National Football Foundation in the College Football Hall of Fame Incorporated. Howard, one of only a limited number of university presidents to play Division I football, told RMU's newsroom, quote, "I am honored to join the National Football Foundation Board of Directors and to serve with such an illustrious group to promote this special sport as it is reimagined for the 21st century." He also went on to say, "All the things I learned playing football, teamwork, attention to detail, and intentional fortune have benefited me in every phase of life," end quote. Now we're going to send it over to Nathan Breisinger, who's going to give us the latest on Robert Morris sports from this past weekend. Nate?
Thanks, guys. Well, it was a wild one inside Clearview Arena this weekend as the Robert Morris men's hockey team started off on the right foot on Friday night against Niagara. Game 1 took overtime. On a rush up ice, Cameron Hebert made a diving play to chip the puck over to Darcy Walsh, who just returned from a concussion as he made no mistake with it going top shelf past Purple's Eagle netminder Chad Veltri. Just as Walsh looked to run off the ice after his overtime tally, the Colonials looked to run away with this series in Game 2, but Niagara said not so fast. Game 2 went into double overtime, marking the longest game in men's hockey history. However, the Colonials fell in this one as Jack Billings ripped a shot from the goal line that hit Noah's West mask and fell into the back of the net. With a trip to the Atlantic Hockey semifinals on the line, the Purple Eagles pulled off the upset in Game 3. After going up 2-0, Niagara never looked back as Veltri made 44 saves to help lift them past the Colonials. While the men's hockey team's postseason dreams came to an abrupt end on the island, the Robert Morris softball team was in action at the North Athletic Complex this weekend. On Friday, the Colonials dropped their opening contest in 9 innings, but in the second game of their doubleheader, RMU shut out Detroit Mercy, winning this one in just 5 innings, 8-0. Natalie Higgins drove in 3 runs to lead RMU in the winning effort. On Saturday, it was the same story as the Colonials lost their opening game, but rebounded in the second contest, winning 5-3, which led to a split of the weekend series. As 2 RMU teams were home this weekend, 2 were also on the road. The men's soccer team traveled to the University of Illinois Chicago on Friday, but they fell 4-0 in this match. Men's soccer now drops to 1-3-1 on the season. Rounding out the weekend for RMU competition, the men's lacrosse team traveled to Colorado to take on Air Force. The Colonials headed into halftime with an 11-5 lead. However, the Falcons looked to stage a comeback in the second half as Air Force scored 7 unanswered to end the contest. But the Colonials gave themselves enough cushion to withstand the pesky Falcons, winning 14-13. That's all I have for RMU Sports for now. Let's send it back over to the desk.
Thank you, Nate. And it was a cold one today, Austin, but John Blinn is outside to give us an update on the weather. John?
Thank you, Austin and Colby. And as you can see today, it's rather sunny, but don't let that fool you. It gets rather chilly when that wind blows by, as we typically see here on the Robert Morris campus. But hey, let's dive into those temperatures on the today's forecast graphic there. The high today is 44 degrees and the low is 26 degrees, but it's not looking like we'll see any rain, so that's a blessing in itself. The humidity only 27%. Moving on now to the hourly forecast. It's only going to drop down to 40 degrees by 9 p.m., allegedly to this hourly forecast graphic. But that sun is going to stick around until about 6 p.m., and then we're going to start to see that dissipate and the high go up to 43 actually there. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, it's going to warm up a little bit more, but we may see some rain with that chance of precipitation sitting at 50%. The high being 56 degrees and the low being 40 degrees, but that humidity might make it feel a little sticky out there tomorrow with a percentage of 71%. We'll be back out here for the rest of your weather later on in the show. We'll toss it back to the guys at the desk.
Thank you, John. And teacher salaries in Texas may be increasing.
And New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is responding to new allegations that are being brought against him. So make sure to stay tuned with us here on RMU Live.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Live. A ruling out of the Vatican on Monday determined that the Catholic Church cannot bless the same-sex unions. The Congregation for the Doctorate of the Faith, known more so as the Vatican's Orthodoxy Office, announced the response with the answer being, quote, negative, and since God, quote, cannot bless sin, the Church is welcoming gay people and that they must be treated with dignity and respect, but is not willing to recognize their marriage. The Bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Pittsburgh released a letter concerning a child sex abuse complaint against a deceased priest, encouraging people with information to bring their stories forward. The man who issued the complaint against Charles Appel said the alleged abuse occurred when he was a minor in the late 1970s and 1980s at Sheldon Calvary Camp in Conneaut, Ohio. Appel renounced his priesthood in 2001 and was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison for obtaining pornographic videos of children in 2014, later dying in 2019. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is slamming cancel culture and rejecting growing calls for his resignation as another accuser comes forward. Meredith Wood has the latest.
I'm not going to resign. I was not elected by the politicians. I was elected by the people.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo refusing to resign despite growing calls for him to step down.
People know the difference between playing politics, bowing to cancel culture, and the truth.
Cuomo now facing harassment and sexual assault accusations from multiple women. New York Magazine reports the latest accuser is a former staffer who accuses Cuomo of repeatedly berating her and making suggestive remarks about her looks. Cuomo continues to deny all accusations against him.
I have not had a sexual relationship that was inappropriate, period.
A majority of New York State congressional Democrats are now calling for Cuomo's resignation. And Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand have joined the calls for the governor's resignation, saying in a joint statement, quote, "It is clear that Governor Cuomo has lost the confidence of his governing partners and the people of New York." President Joe Biden has yet to weigh in on whether or not he thinks Cuomo should resign.
There also is an independent investigation that is ongoing, of course, in the state with subpoena power overseen by the Attorney General, and he certainly supports that moving forward.
I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
Thank you, Meredith. Texas State Representative James Talarico is looking to give teachers in his state a pay boost. Talarico said, quote, "Teachers had our backs. Now we must have theirs. Our teachers have endured a global pandemic, an economic collapse, and a deadly winter storm. They have held our communities together through these historic crises," end quote. According to Talarico, teachers' salaries in Texas are $5,700 behind the national average.
A fire early Sunday morning is now being investigated by Beaver Falls Police as a homicide. Firefighters was dispatched to a home in the 1200 block of Shenango Road a little after 6 a.m. Sunday, finding a 26-year-old man dead at the scene inside of the home. Police are asking that if you saw any suspicious activity near the home between 3 and 6 a.m. to contact the Beaver Falls Police or Beaver County detectives.
A motorcyclist was killed overnight in a crash in Murraysville, according to the Westmoreland County coroner. 25-year-old Robert Mann was riding his motorcycle on Sardis Road just after 2 a.m. when he crossed the county line while going around a turn and struck an ongoing vehicle. Mann was not wearing a helmet during the crash and pronounced dead at the scene. A man was hit and killed in downtown Pittsburgh Saturday night. Investigators said it happened at the intersection of Penn Avenue and Stanwyck Street around 9:30 p.m. When first responders arrived, they found the man under the vehicle. He was declared dead at the scene.
Firefighters responded to a 3-alarm fire in the Marshall Shadeland neighborhood Saturday afternoon in the 2900 block of Shadeland Avenue. The fire occurred around 1:30 p.m. with two houses directly next to each other engulfed in flames. Despite the blaze, all individuals in the home exited safely with no injuries being reported.
The U.S. Marshal Service is now involved in the search for a man wanted in the shooting death of an 18-year-old man in the Strip District last month. Marshals released new photographs of Howard Hawkins, also known as Mark Molandin, who was wanted in the homicide of Amir Tooley. Charges against Hawkins include homicide and carrying a firearm without a license. A Davonsburg man is facing charges after police say he stabbed another person multiple times in the face outside the Giant Eagle store located in the waterfront. Robert Lee Rochelle, 45, was charged with the 2 felony counts of aggravated assault and related offense after the incident at the store shortly after 9:30 a.m. Friday.
Coming up, go ahead, Kobe.
Oh, thank you. When we come back, John is back in the weather studio to give us an update. Stay with us on RMU Live.
We'll also hear some.
Hey, Dad, I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Oh, Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
I was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to RMU Live. NFL free agency frenzy doesn't begin until this Wednesday at 4 p.m., but Juju Smith-Schuster is already grabbing the headlines with a Twitter post thanking Steeler Nation for whatever happens next this week regarding his next decision. Smith-Schuster said that Pittsburgh is a part of who he is and respects the city's blue-collar spirit. NFL Network's Mike Garafolo reported earlier today that Juju has told teammates that he expects to sign elsewhere, with that statement looking somewhat like a goodbye message. After 20 seasons and 15 years in New Orleans, a goodbye message was sent by beloved quarterback and future Hall of Famer Drew Brees, announcing his retirement on Sunday. Brees' 4 children officially delivered the news in a video that Brees posted, saying that their dad is hanging it up to spend more time with them. Brees currently holds NFL records for passing yards, most seasons with 5,000 yards passing, completions, consecutive games with a touchdown pass, and a second all-time in touchdown passes behind Tom Brady, once holding the record himself. Brees is eligible to be inducted into Canton in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2026. Now we're going to send it over to Nathan Breisinger, who's back to give us the latest Pittsburgh sports from this past weekend. Nate?
Thank you, guys. Bust out those brackets. It's March Madness time. It's been nearly 2 years since the last game was played in the men's basketball NCAA tournament, but that comes to an end on Thursday with the first 4 taking place. Undefeated Gonzaga, Michigan, Baylor, and Illinois all secured number 1 seeds in this year's bracket. Get ready for lots of madness, upsets, and Cinderella stories. While fans are excited for the tournament to begin, some teams were snubbed out of the tournament play. Louisville is the biggest omission out of this year's field, while the Duke Blue Devils will miss the tournament for the first time since 1995 after falling victim to COVID-19 and dropping out of the ACC tournament. As college hoops fans prepare for the long-awaited return of March Madness, the NHL has been in the headlines over the past week as well. The league announced last Wednesday that it signed a 7-year deal with ESPN that will start during the 2021-22 season. This returns hockey broadcasting to ESPN for the first time since 2004. ABC will carry 4 years of Stanley Cup final coverage, while over 1,000 games will be streamed on ESPN+. Hey, maybe it's time for me to finally get my subscription to ESPN+. With the news taking over the spotlight here in Pittsburgh, the Penguins have heated up over the past few weeks. The Pens are currently riding a 5-game win streak, which is their longest of the year, as they sit 3rd place in the Eastern Division. Over on the North Shore, the Steelers continue their offseason as they've re-signed a handful of players to 1-year deals, including Ray McLeod and Marcus Allen. As for the Pirates down in Florida, they continue to roll towards their opening day matchup with the Chicago Cubs on April 1st. The Buccos have gone an even 3-3 in the past week. Over the past 2 games, Rodolfo Castro has made a name for himself, hitting 2 home runs in as many days while driving in 6 runs. Spring ball is always a great time to see unknown players step up as they search to make a big league roster. Lots of Pittsburgh sports news to unravel over the next few weeks, but that's all I have for now. Let's send it back over to the desk.
Thank you, Nate. Well, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. The Best of Mr. Rogers won Best Historical Film during the 63rd Grammys. The movie was released in February 2020. Some music from the show is in the movie. Won't You Be My Neighbor? You Are Special. Today is a very special day. Congrats to everyone who worked on the film. Day and Shan won another Grammy for the third year in a row. The Pittsburgh duo is taking home the Grammy for Best Country Duo Group Performance this year. They grabbed a win for their song 10,000 Hours with Justin Bieber. The group said, quote, "Thank you so much to our fans, to Justin's fans, and to everybody that voted us. It truly means the world," end quote. Dan Smith said during the virtual acceptance speech.
Coming up after the break, Colby, John Blinn has put more dedicated time into figuring out what the weather is so that we know how to prepare for this upcoming week. He'll be here to tell us what that is coming up after the break here on RMU Live.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it aliens? Actually, we have no idea what it is. Yesterday morning, there was a mysterious light in the Pittsburgh sky. Earlier last week, the same lights were in the North Carolina skies. Initial reports are suggesting that the lights are a trail which was caused by a recent SpaceX satellite launch, in Florida.
Very interesting there, Colby, in terms of what's going on in the light. But speaking of what's going on in the light and also what's going on in the sky, let's send it over now to John Blinn outside to give us a look at this week's weather.
Thank you again, Austin and Colby. And just to reiterate tomorrow's forecast, you may see some rain, chance of precipitation 50%, but it's going to heat up 10 more degrees than it is today, 56 being the high, 40 being the low. Looking at our 5-day now, the sun is going to come back out and hopefully dry up any of that rain we see tomorrow on Wednesday. The high going up all the way to 61 degrees there, so a taste of spring this week. So they're going to see some March showers there, high of 52 on Thursday and a high of 45 on Friday with some rain. But then again, the sun is going to start peeking out on the weekend and you can have a nice trip outside maybe. Who knows, 52 degrees, 57. Light jacket could make a pretty comfortable day and I hope you enjoy it. We're going to send it back to the guys to finish out the show.
Thank you as always, Mr. Blinn. If you're looking for more RMU-TV productions, make sure to join us on Wednesday for a late night show with an RMU twist for RMU Tonight, Wednesday at 5:30. And for the latest RMU sports, make sure to definitely watch Colonial Sports Center, where me and Colby will be hosting this week. That's Thursday at 9:30. And for more RMU news, you can turn into RMU Focus, also hosted by you, Colby. That's Fridays at 1 p.m.
Yeah, those are some fun shows to do.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to this week, Colby?
I would say Colonial Sports Center with you. I think it's going to be a fun time.
It's definitely going to be a fun time. It's going to be interesting. It's the first time that I will be hosting. So
it is the second time I am hosting, actually.
It is going to be very exciting. I mean, I like the chemistry we've built here, Colby.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good time. But for everybody here at RMU Live, for Colby Sherwin, John Blinn, and Nathan Breisinger, I am Austin Bechtold. Thank you for watching RMU Live this Monday, and we will see you 1 week from today.